What if it wasn't about building a new life? What if it wasn't about being a new you, being a new me, building something better, being someone better? What if it was about coming back to yourself? What if it was about living more authentically? What if it was about living more in your truth, being more of who you were before the world told you what to be, before we started thinking about what other people thought about us? Like, think about kids. I've worked with children one on one for a long time now, and I've learned so much from them. They have so much confidence to just fully express themselves in the world. I'll have clients who just are dancing in public simply because they're happy, or clients who are just laughing uncontrollably because they're happy. We get taught as we grow up, more of these fears come in of like, what are they going to think? More of these fears come in of, oh, like comparing ourselves to somebody else. Like, oh, but what if I'm not as good as them? What if this job rejects me? What if this person rejects me? What if this ends up not being what I want to do, whatever it is? Like, what if I commit and then I end up not wanting, I want to change my mind? Like, we get all of these fears. And so what happens is we end up just not doing the thing, is we end up not doing what we're feeling drawn to because all of these fears come up. I feel like there are so many things in the wellness world that are like quick fixes, like do this to feel happier, do this to relieve your depression or relieve your anxiety, whatever it is, like do this, do this, do this. And let's say you do the thing, or you can't keep up with the nightly routine that's supposed to help you get the best sleep ever if you do this every night, or that morning routine, you're supposed to do this every day to feel happier and confident in yourself. You can't keep up with that. And then now you're starting to feel like a failure because you're not keeping up with this thing that's supposed to be good for you. You're not keeping up with this thing that you were told to do because this is the, how's that saying go? The like, once all end all or whatever. I don't know how the saying goes, but like, this is the thing that we have to do to feel better about ourselves, feel better about our life. But what if it's not so external? What if the thing that allows you to feel good about your life, that allows you to feel good in yourself, isn't such an external thing? And instead, it's returning back to yourself. It's returning back to what you genuinely enjoy to do, what you genuinely feel good doing, and the person that you genuinely feel confident in. For example, even just like the clothes we wear. Like, I more recently have been wearing more flowy, kind of different styles of clothing than I would in my past, just because I'm learning to go more with the flow of my emotions and to go more of the flow of who I want to be and how I feel that I am, what feels authentic to me, what feels that suits me, or wearing hairstyles that make me feel more like me, that add in, that show that random side of me, that show that fun, playful side of me. Like, what can I do to show these sides of me, of my personality, whatever it is? And how can I express that rather than how can I be that person? How can I live this life? Instead, think, how can I live a life that's true to me? How can I make choices that align with me, with my authentic self? What is a hobby? Think right now. What is a hobby that you've always enjoyed or that you know that you enjoy, but you haven't done it in forever? And why is that? Are you not making time because you're making time for what you think is supposed to matter more? Or are you making time for the things that you're going to get judged a little less for? Like, what are you making time for? Where is your attention and energy going? And is it going towards something that is allowing you to be authentic to you, that is allowing you to live in your truth? So specifically, this has been drawn to my mind recently because I've been thinking about the past in the sense of remembering what it was like after leaving a relationship or leaving a environment or just even a state of mind or just a way of living that is different from what I'm used to. So I'm stepping into the unknown, and there's a healing that comes with that. There's the healing from releasing what no longer serves us. There's a healing of removing ourselves from what is familiar and going into the unknown because that is what's best for us. There's healing in having to break away from what we know to go into the unknown because we have faith that, okay, that other thing wasn't best for me. So I'm going to go and try this and live this way because this is what I'm feeling drawn for towards. This is what feels right for me compared to how I've been living. There's a healing journey that goes with this. Even if it was your choice to leave that relationship, leave that career, leave that environment, that space, whatever it is, your choice to let go of that version of you, whatever, there can still be some healing with that because now you like that has become a part of your life, that person or that career or whatever it is has become a part of your life, your normal routine, and now that's gone. So there's going to be some healing from that. And I feel like sometimes we can get so lost in these relationships or so lost in these careers or these everyday routines that we get into that when we're no longer within those, we kind of lose ourselves a bit. And I don't want to necessarily say lose ourselves, but we kind of forget who we truly were. Because the thing is, when we are staying in an environment or within a relationship or in a career, whatever it is, that does not suit us anymore, that we've grown out of, that doesn't align with us, then we are never going to be in alignment because we are keeping ourselves in the box of that familiarity. We're keeping ourselves in that box of what feels safe because it's what we're used to, rather than leaving that box to go into something that's unfamiliar, yet it's aligned with us. But that's scary because we don't know that alignment because we're used to being out of alignment. We're used to that other way, that thing that we know is predictable now because we know how it is. We know how it goes. We know every day this is going to happen. And that is there's safety in that assurance that this is going to happen that way. But are you happy at the end of the day? Are you happy? Because that's what truly matters. When we're in this healing journey, it's like we kind of forget a little bit of, okay, like, who am I now? Because now I don't have that thing. And that was all that I knew, or that's all that I became to know. So now it's kind of like this like self-discovery moment, this period of self-discovery, of refinding yourself, of coming home to yourself, really coming home to yourself and understanding, okay, what truly feels good in me? Like what as a kid used to excite me? What just a year ago or before I was so invested in that relationship, before I was so invested in that career, before I was so invested in whatever that thing is, that goal, whatever, so invested in that thing that ended up being out of alignment from us, before that, who was I? And what parts of me did I enjoy? And what parts of me feel authentic to me? So what I mean by what if it's not about building a new life and a new you? What if it's about returning to yourself, living in your truth? What that truly means is instead of reaching for all of this, all of these self-care tactics like, oh, do this exact workout every single day to get like abs or to feel confident or to whatever, feel good in yourself, whatever it is, like do this every single day. It's like when you do that, like bring your own sense of authenticity into that. It's like you don't have to do if you can't keep up with that because your schedule might not fit that or you just don't like that or you physically can't do that every single day, whatever it is that the self-care tactic is. By not doing that, we immediately are going to think that we're failing because somebody or is telling us, somebody that we see as having higher power, say someone on Instagram with a bunch of followers or somebody that you trust their opinion or whatever it is, you hear them say that to you. And if you can't keep up with that, you're automatically going to have these thoughts that come in that say, oh, I'm failure. Oh, I'm not going to be confident because I can't keep up with that thing. But the thing is, bring your own authenticity into it in the sense of, okay, I am going to stay consistent with myself. Like if the idea was working out, I'm going to stay consistent with myself, working out twice a week because that is what I can give right now. And then that can change. That can ebb and flow, whatever it is. Just bring your authenticity into your way of living. You don't have to follow what another person is saying is going to be good for you because what you need to follow is your intuition. What you need to follow is what you believe is good for you because that's what matters at the end of the day. Also, ignore me sweating. It's kind of hot in here, so I'm just going to drink my coffee. Oh my God. Oh no. I spilled my coffee. That's okay. They're just pants. Anyway, what was I saying? I feel like when we are in a relationship for a really long time, or we're in a career for a really long time, we become a certain personality that career or relationship kind of shapes us into. And when that thing ends up leaving our life, leaving our reality, we walk away or it breaks off, whatever happens to it, we sometimes kind of want to remain in that sense of self, in that identity. And we have to see from an outside perspective, like, is that really me though? Is that a person that I want to be? Is that a person that feels true to me? Or do I feel kind of off? Do I feel stuck? Am I not doing what makes me happy? Am I not living in a way that feels good to me? At the end of the day, it matters to live in a way that feels good to you, not what other people want from you, not what other people expect from you. What matters is the expectations that you have for yourself, the standards that you put on your own life, the goals that you have for your own life, not what other people want for you, but what you want for yourself. That's what matters in life. And that's what being true to yourself means, and living in your authenticity, living in your energy, rather than constantly reaching for other people's approval, other people feeling proud of you. Feel proud of yourself by choosing, making decisions that align with you, that making decisions that actually feel good in you. So when we're in this healing journey or on this self-growth journey, it's not always about reaching externally to, let me get this thing to better my life, or let me do this thing to better my life, or whatever it is. How about you see, what can I do that feels right for me? How can I make choices that align with me, that feel authentic to me? How can I make choices that help me feel good in myself, that help me feel proud of myself? Instead of thinking, how can I live in a way that keeps me from being judged, that keeps me in line with making this other person proud of me, just how can you live in a way where you have no regrets about the life you're living? Instead of thinking, how can I do this to where I don't embarrass myself? Instead, think, how can I just live true to me? How can I live in a way where I make myself feel good and happy? Because that's what matters at the end of the day. If you have to disappoint these other people in order to live authentically to you and live in your truth and do what makes you happy, then so be it. Disappoint those people if it means not disappointing yourself. So when you're on this healing journey or the self-growth journey and you're trying to think of all these ways to build a better life, build a better you, try coming back to yourself. Try coming back to, what do I enjoy to do? Learn about, okay, what music do I like to listen to? What music makes me feel good? What foods make me feel good? Not what foods do I need to be eating, but what foods genuinely make me feel good? Like after I eat them, while I'm eating them, like what helps me feel refreshed? What can I do to kind of slow myself down after a long day? How can I take care of myself? Like, learn these things yourself, because your self-care is unique to you. And when we're on this healing journey or the self-growth journey, and we've just given so much of a person, a version of us that is not authentic to us, to this relationship or to this career or to this hobby, whatever it is, we have to draw that energy back to ourselves of, okay, so who am I? Who actually am I? And how can I be authentic to me? What parts of my personality did I have to hide in order to remain in that relationship, in order to remain in that environment, that career, whatever it is? What parts of me did I have to hide? What parts of me can I now uncover because I'm no longer in that relationship, in that environment, in that career, whatever it is? Because I'm no longer attached to that thing. I solely am within myself. And what can I now release? What can I now be that is authentic to me that I once had to hide? And now I'm free to express that. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm worried about, or instead of feeling like you're going to embarrass yourself by expressing yourself, think about how kind it is to let yourself express yourself. Think about how much that heals your inner child to just express yourself. Remember we talked about earlier with how children are just so open with self-expression. They'll just say anything on their mind. They'll do the thing that they just feel drawn to do in that moment. They'll dance their little heart out in front of a whole crowd of people and not give a flying fuck what anyone thinks. It's like, let that childlike persona come back into you. Draw that energy out of who you enjoy being and the personality that you enjoy being. If you laugh loudly and somebody in the past told you that like your laugh is annoying or your laugh is too loud or you're too much or whatever it is, remember, you're not living for them. You're not living for that person that thinks you're too much. You're not living for the person that thinks you're too loud. You're not living for the person that thinks you're not enough. You're living for you. You're living for you to live a life that matters to you, that live a life that feels good to you. Does it feel good to shrink yourself? Does it feel good to not be able to fully express yourself? No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel good to trap ourselves in this box just so that we can feel validated by other people, just so that we can make life easier for other people, just so that we can feed into other people who are annoyed by us or whatever it is. It's like, we don't have to give them that satisfaction of them shutting us down. Don't let people shut you down. Like, express yourself. And if somebody doesn't like it, then so be it. They can go on with their lives and you will go on with your life. And if you have friends, and I like air quote that, friends around you who don't let you express yourself fully, who you don't feel like you can confidently be your truest, most authentic self with, are they really your friends and are they really people that you want to be giving your attention and energy to? Truly. Because the best people in life are the ones who your natural persona comes out when you're with them. It's those friendships where you are just naturally yourself and you don't even have to think about it. That's what matters. What hobbies do you do where you just naturally are yourself and you don't even have to think twice about or question, am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Am I embarrassing myself? Where you don't even have to question that. You're just being yourself. And that is you unleashing your authenticity, you being unique to yourself, you staying true to yourself, you committing to yourself in the sense of allowing yourself to fully embrace yourself and love who you are. So instead of just like reaching out for all of these solutions, what if the solution was already within you? What if this whole idea of this better life that you want to live or this better person that you want to be, whatever, what if it's already within you because it's that person that you're afraid to let out? It's those hobbies that you're afraid to do because you're scared of what other people are going to think. It's that thing that you're afraid to start because you're scared of failing. What if it's all of that within you that you actually just need to reconnect with? What if it's that persona inside of you that was hidden, that was broken down because it wasn't enough for that career. It wasn't enough for that person, or it was too much for that person. It was too much for that career. That little piece of you inside, that's the part that you need to reconnect with. That's the part that you need to bring out on this healing journey, this self-growth journey, whatever it is. Reconnect with your old self. Go back to those hobbies that you stopped doing because you prioritize somebody else over them. What are the things that you stopped doing because another person told you don't, because another person was judging you or whatever? What's the hobbies that you stopped making time for because you were putting so much energy into a career that didn't fulfill you? What are all the things that you stopped doing because you prioritized something else above it that didn't align with you? Excuse me. Well, I got like, choked up a bit. Just so passionate about this. No, truly. I feel like when I look back on these relationships that I put myself into, every single one, which there was like 3 serious ones, I would say, in my life so far. And I look back on them, I was a different person in each one of them, but the only thing that didn't change was the passions that I had and the dreams that I had for the life that I wanted to live, that I felt drawn to live. That never changed within me. But what did change was my surface area persona so that I could fit in this relationship, so that I could be enough for this person, so that I could feel like this relationship is meant for me. I changed myself to fit that puzzle rather than realizing I'm not meant to be a piece of part of their puzzle and they're not meant to be a piece of part of my puzzle. We're both a part of different puzzles. This isn't about puzzles. But so essentially, I just have been reflecting kind of recently on I was a different person in each one because I was the person that I needed to be in order to keep that relationship. The one thing that never changed was that fire within me that felt that I deserved more. That fire within me that felt like I wasn't living a life that I wouldn't regret. That I wasn't, that fire within me that was telling me this isn't meant for me. That fire within me that was telling me this isn't who I want to be. That fire never changed. And now I'm in a phase, like a stage of my life that's incredible because I'm letting that fire be lit. I vow to never change myself in order to stay in a relationship with somebody. If I have to change myself to keep that friendship or to keep that relationship, and I have to change true, authentic parts about me for it, it's not meant for me. If you had to truly change the things that you like, the way that you act, like in a sense of your true personality, like laughing loudly or wearing that outfit that you feel good in, you have to change those things that feel good for you, or you have to change your schedule of the hobbies that you enjoy for this person when it's like, no, this is what I want to prioritize. This is where I want to put my attention towards. But you're putting so much attention towards that other thing that you're forgetting about what you love. That's something to kind of ponder on and think, is it worth it? Is this career, is this person worth losing myself over? And when you're listening to this, you might be listening to this when you've already broken away from that thing or you're about to, you're questioning it, you're wondering. And I just want you to ask yourself, what is the move that you can make next that feels authentic to you? Not what you're used to. Don't think about the move that feels familiar because familiar isn't always alignment. What is familiar doesn't mean it's alignment. Sometimes alignment means leaning into our fears. Sometimes alignment means stepping into the unknown. Overall, it's what decision can you make that allows you to express your authenticity? What decision can you make that allows you to live in your truth, to live in a way that feels authentic and unique to you? How can you live in a way where you are proud of the person that you are and proud of the life you are living? Rather than constantly reaching for these external solutions, what if you came home to yourself finally? What if you stopped ignoring that dream that you have within you of this life that you want to live for yourself? What if you stopped telling yourself that that was just a dream and that's a passion that you can pursue? What if you stop talking to yourself like all of your ideas are child's play? What if you stop talking to yourself like you're not enough? What if you stop talking to yourself like you aren't capable for everything that you imagine? What if instead you start talking to yourself with kindness? What if instead you are your biggest cheerleader? What if instead you talk to yourself like you talk to the people that you love? What about that? What about that? What if you saw yourself as somebody who could literally do anything that they put their mind to? What if you saw yourself as someone who doesn't have to change themselves to fit in another person's mold? What if you saw yourself as creating your own mold? What if you saw yourself as living a life that actually makes sense to you, not one that makes sense to another person? Living a life that actually feels true to your authenticity rather than a life that makes another person proud. Just think about that. And what can you do today that helps you reconnect with that authenticity? Reconnect with that inner childlike self. Maybe you watch one of your childhood movies. Maybe you do something that you haven't done in forever, like painting or going to the park. When was the last time you went down a slide? When was the last time you just danced randomly in your room to a song that you love? When was the last time you just screamed the lyrics to a song in your car? When was the last time you just took yourself out for ice cream? Think about how you can heal kind of these inner child parts of you, because there is something, our little childlike selves love all these little things. And honestly, some of those really stick with us. This is like a funny random example, but when I was little, in elementary school, I loved wearing combat boots, right? And then I got through middle school and high school and I kind of stopped wearing them because they weren't like stylish. They weren't stylish. I was afraid of being judged by them. Like they just didn't feel like I felt embarrassed wearing them. So tell me why now that's like my thing. Like tell me why like my friends will see like combat boots, like say like there's a Barbie doll wearing combat boots, my friends will be like, Mia, it's you. And like my friends will like embrace the fact that like I brought that back. Even my friend told me one time, like, Mia, I love how the combat boots have made a comeback. Like I love that that's your thing. Like, and that's so like a silly little thing, but you know, that's me being authentic to myself. And the reason that I'd stopped wearing the combat boots through high school was, and like junior high was because I was scared of what other people would think. Just because nobody would wear them during that time or whatever. You know what I mean? And so I was just like scared. But now I just live authentically. Now I just like do that because I enjoy it. I like the style. It feels like me. So I do that. Or like this necklace. I've had this necklace since I was like probably 8 years old, but I stopped wearing it for a bit because I thought it wasn't cool. And now here I am, 23 years old, and I'm wearing it because I'm like, this is such a cool necklace. Like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I got this, and I remember the time that I got this with my parents, and I was just like, I had a good time with them. It was a good day, and I got this necklace, and it makes me happy, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Or it's like, let's say I or like I spilled this coffee on me, and it got on my pants, and I love these pants. Little Mia would have felt like she failed or made a mistake or something was wrong because I spilled something. But me now, I'm like, everything's okay. I'm safe. Nobody's going to be mad at me. There's no mistakes here. It was just a little spill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, live authentic to you. Live in a way that feels good in your soul, not anybody else's soul. Because you're not living anybody else's life. You're living your life. So think about these things that look at all my stuffed animals. I love my stuffed animals, and I'm not afraid to admit that I love my stuffed animals. They all have names. Well, of course, like SpongeBob and Patrick have a name, but like all my other stuffed animals like have names because like, why not? And like little me loves that. And that's like living authentic to me. Like my car has a name, Troy. I love naming things because it's just silly and fun and like it makes life a little less serious. And that is what I'm all about is like, I live in a serious manner in the sense of like, if I need to get something done, I need to get something done. But that doesn't mean you can't be playful with it. Like I've learned that I can be serious and also still playful. And then that's kind of where my personality builds around. And I've learned that. And being in certain environments or with certain friendships or relationships and careers, sometimes I didn't feel like I could have that persona. And now that I'm no longer in those, because they're not aligned with me, I can bring back that persona, that authentic part of me. That's like, you know what? I can be playful and still be serious about things. I can make my dreams come true. Because why not? I can believe in myself. Because why not? Like I'm allowed to just create a life that I love. I'm allowed that. And I'm allowed to live authentically to me. So think about these things that you used to enjoy doing that you haven't done in a while. Like go to the park, buy some new clothes, like do something that you just feel will feel good for you. And that wear that outfit that you never get to wear because you're scared of what other people are going to think. Wear the shoes that you're scared to wear because you think everybody's going to be staring and making fun of your shoes when you wear them. So wear them. That's a sign that you should wear them, actually. If you put on an outfit and you start thinking like, and you start thinking about what other people are going to think when they see you wearing this outfit, that is a sign that you should just wear the damn outfit. I've learned that personally. Let yourself live authentically to you. Allow yourself that. Give yourself permission to live in a state of freedom of self-expression. Freedom of authenticity. You are abundantly authentic. You are abundantly loved for your authenticity. And the people who really love you are going to want to encourage that authentic self. You don't have to worry about them not liking you for your authenticity. And if they don't want to be friends with you or whatever it is for your authenticity, that's their loss. You should feel proud that you're sticking with your guns. You're sticking with your authenticity. You're sticking with yourself. And that's all I'm going to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you feel that you are kind of struggling to live authentically to you or come back to yourself, or you're not really sure what steps to take or what that even means to you, like you struggle to have that clarity of like, okay, who am I? Like, what does my authentic self like to do and like to feel, like whatever it is. I have self-alignment and mindfulness coaching. And if you message me that you listen to this podcast, I can give you a free call where we can talk about it a little bit, talk about how my sessions work and things like that. So let me know that you listen to this. And yeah, so I hope you're enjoying your morning, middle of the day, evening, whatever you're living right now. And remember that you are allowed to be authentic to you. And what if it's not about building a better you? And instead, it's about coming back to yourself and living in your truth. Okay.